Hello, beautiful world. How are you doing today? And all you beautiful, beautiful people that reside on this fantastic rock. Welcome to the podcast of Brothers of Many Words. I am your host, King RP.
I'm your co-host, King Christopher.
We're joined here today. We have a special guest, Mr. Nick Schultney. He's our producer, and he's going to be joining us today. We are short of King Mackie and King Corey, but he's going to fill in today and make this thing pop for us. We get the affirmation by King Christopher here this morning.
Yes, sir. Happy to have you on, Nick, man.
Thank you.
All
Appreciate
right.
it. It's
Words
exciting
of
to be on this side than the comment side right now.
Yeah, I'm excited for today's podcast.
That's right.
All right. Words of affirmation. We stand together as brothers, united in purpose and grounded in respect. We move with love, speak with clarity, and carry peace. No ego, no division, only growth. Each voice matters. Together, we build something greater. We are aligned. We are ready. Peace in our energy, power in our unity, purpose in our message. It is done.
It is
done. Done.
Yes.
Okay. Purpose of the podcast is for open mic is where real conversations meet real perspective. No scripts, no limits, just truth, growth, and elevation. We're here to challenge minds, expand thinking, and build something greater together. I'm gonna build on that and hit us with some words of inspiration this morning. Here we go. Suffering does not erase your potential; it only reveals it. The pain you endure can become the wisdom you carry, the compassion you give, and the strength that shapes your future. A successful life is not one untouched by hardship, but one transformed by it. Where every wound touches, every setback deepens understanding, and every trial becomes part of your rising. When faced with suffering, choose growth, choose meaning, and choose to believe that even your hardest seasons can prepare you for your brightest purpose. I love that quote. I thought it was quite beautiful.
Beautiful, man.
That is a good quote.
How's everybody doing on this beautiful day?
I'm loving life and loving finally being able to get back to training.
That's right.
Getting this pudgy body and soft body hard again.
Yeah, I've been watching your TikToks lately.
That's right.
You reminiscing on the old days. Come on, Chris.
Hey, that's not old days. That was only 2 years ago, man.
No, really.
Wow.
That's
Yes.
awesome.
Wow.
And I've had 2 surgeries since then.
Yeah, you have. That is right.
And the surgeries and the injuries are not related to lifting weights.
Right.
They are old military injuries that are catching up with me.
Yeah. No, things are good. I'm enjoying my day off. This is my Monday. This is my Friday, so we're just enjoying that.
All right, now, so you got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday off?
This week I only have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off. I got to work Saturday, Sunday this week.
How about you, RP, man? How's your week going?
It's going good, King. It's going good. So too, and I failed to mention this to you, Kings. So I have to have a mastectomy for the meniscus, and so yes, I'm getting that done tomorrow. And so, per our conversation, the reason why I can't be repaired is because it's the medial, it's not the radial. And so, because of that, he said it's pretty shredded. So they're gonna go in and clean it up a little bit and go from there. Because I did ask about the repair. However, that's not an option, especially with the medial, because it doesn't get very much blood flow to that area.
No.
So it would be hard to. Now I still was pushing the issue, if you will. If you repair it, my body will heal it. And he said he would do it, but he thought it would be a bit unethical from his standpoint. And I get that, and I appreciate him being honest with me about that. So it's just something we're gonna have to adjust to, if you will.
Yeah. You'll have a quick recovery because mastectomy isn't that bad. Mm-hmm. You'll recover pretty quick. You'll be back on your feet. The problem is if you're an active guy at your age, you're probably going to need a knee replacement here in about 5 years.
Yeah, that's what he was saying, and I'm active. But you know what? I'm also of the mindset. mind over matter, if you will. I'm gonna push that thing to the limit.
Yeah, man.
Because I am very active. Rather do I sit
Well,
still.
if you keep your knees healthy, brother, when you do have to get that knee replacement, you'll still be able to operate.
So
as long as you stay.
No, go ahead.
I say as long as you stay active and stay on your recovery. Once you have to have a knee replacement here in about 5 years.
Yeah.
I know guys that are running, jumping, sprinting in their 70s with knee replacements. But the thing is, you have to stay active. A lot of people give up.
So with that being said, I know you mentioned that website with the gentleman that he
Ben Patrick.
Yes. Send that to me again, because I'm gonna definitely look him up and check him out.
10-4, we'll do, man.
Okay.
Yeah, I hope everything.
I'll just put it in the public chat right here.
You need to keep us up to date with him, make sure everything's good, and of course, I'll call and check in on you in your recovery.
I appreciate that, and I know he mentioned that too, as because I told him what I was gonna do after, and he was like, he looked at me, he's like, "Are you crazy?" I was like, "Yeah." He said,
"Yeah, kind of, just a little bit."
He said, "I'm gonna give you a shirt with my practice on it, my name, so that way you can wear it for me, so you can advertise for me."
I put Ben Patrick's website in the chat.
I appreciate it, man. Listen, I am a busybody. I'm very active, and I know he says that as well too. But I'm certainly one to question and to challenge everything in that regard. He says 5, I'm gonna shoot for 20.
Right on.
And let me ask you guys a question. What's the most embarrassing thing that's happened to you in public? What's the most embarrassing thing?
Well, it's actually recently just happened. And it has been. And the thing is this happened to me when I was a child as well. The same exact thing. So I was at the gym about 3 weeks ago. And I was I got really big thighs. Okay, I got big thighs, I got big hips, and I got a big butt. So certain things like when I wear shorts, I got to wear the shorter shorts, or I'll just blow the shorts out. So, anyways, I'm in my camo front pocket denim cargo shorts, and I'm showing one of my gym members how to perform the Zercher squat. They were interested in the Zercher squat, so I'm in there. I got the barbell on, and I'm going down, showing this person how to perform the exercise. At the very bottom of the Zercher squat, my shorts blow out. And it just blew, boom, at the bottom. I'm at the bottom of the squat, and I don't wear underwear. So it's just all out, man. It's all out. And then I have to stand back up with the weight, and then I got to walk backwards and re-rack it, too, before I can grab my pants to keep it from showing. And it was a young girl that was behind me, too, so she got a sight that wasn't pleasant.
That would be your luck for sure.
So no more denim in the gym.
Well, too. This has been a few years ago, So, the gym has a section in it to where it's like rectangular, so it goes in and it comes back out. So it's like where people go and do the ab workouts and whatnot, whatever they want to do with kettlebells and all that stuff. And so they have mats on the floor. So I'm on the laying down. I'm doing this exercise to where you pick your legs up and then you swing to side, touch down, and you come back like that.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember the name of it. So I was doing that, and so I came back down this to my left, and I come back up, and it was like, I was stunned. It's like
mortified.
Did I just myself? What in the double? What in the HE? How does it just happen? So I'm just like, oh my! There's people doing exercises over there, and so I'm stunned, man. And listen, this whole time my feet are still straight up in the air. I'm just like, oh my!
Right.
So I slowly let my feet down, and I just picked my head up. I didn't look either which way. I picked my head up just to see. Everybody was gone except for this one gentleman, and he was in a push-up position at the ready. He didn't move. And so I looked at him, he looked at me, had this big smile on his face, and he was like, did you eat salmon last night? I was like, how'd you know? He was like, I could taste it. I was like, no, you didn't.
Nah.
Oh.
Nah.
Really did happen, man. I was quite. I didn't know. Listen, that came out of nowhere. That came out of nowhere.
The next time that happens, you just got to look to your left and right and be like, man, somebody's barking spiders up in here.
Well, being inside that enclosure, it was so loud, man. That was.
Good.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That was wild.
I'm pretty sure I got to run outside. My charger's outside. My laptop's going to die. But I believe the worst time I ever had was I'm in the same boat as Christopher. I am a police officer. I was young. I don't wear underwear. Chasing a guy through the woods, and I split it from seam to seam. And we had a 3-mile walk back after catching this guy, and everything's hanging out. There's 30 agencies there, I bet, probably, or more. And it was absolutely the most horrific thing I've ever been through in my life.
Did they make fun?
Oh, absolutely, they did. I mean, it was
I know I would have.
something that I never let down or got let down for.
Has anybody said anything to you about that, Chris?
Years.
About what happened to you?
No, it was kind of, I think it was embarrassing for everybody. Not just me. I'm sure if I was just a regular member, they'd probably talk about it more. Or they probably are talking about it, just not in front of me.
That's the thing. In your own business. Your own business. That's the embarrassing part. Like now you got to do the walk of shame all the way from the back room to your office to just hopefully not get seen. We do have someone in the
I'm real,
chat.
man. I'm real.
We do have someone in the chat that said, "Well, today wore my house shoes to the store. It was slightly embarrassing." Listen, I look like a bum. I'm going to tell you that right now. When I go out, I look like a bum. On my days off, I'm sweatpants, Crocs, and just, I don't even care.
Crocs all the way, man.
Right, exactly.
That's my favorite shoe.
Really?
Oh, yes. Most comfortable shoe I own is my Crocs.
Oh, I don't know. I'm hooked on Hey Dudes right now. I really am.
I know something with my plantar fasciitis, and when I put my foot in a pair of Crocs, man, it just feels like heaven. Especially at the end of the day and walk around the house.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I got plantar fasciitis in both feet, but it's really bad on my left foot. I got completely flat feet. Really? Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, it's from my military injuries with my back and not having a calf muscles with my back injury.
Oh.
Calf muscle?
Now on my left leg, below the knee, there's no muscle. That's all the nerves. I got nerve impingement on both sides of my back, and on my left side, all the nerves that activate the muscles below the knee, they're dead. They're completely cut off. I haven't had a calf for 10 years. But oh yeah, when I run, I look like I'm limping, kind of like one side's a square wheel, one side's a regular wheel. That's kind of looks like when I run, and then my hip is offset and pushed forward, and not having the calf is what caused the really bad plantar fasciitis in my left foot. It makes running hard. Makes running long distances hard, but.
And there's no way to fix that, is there?
I'm still on feet. No. Doctor even said if we ever got the compression lifted, he said that nerve's been dead for too long. You ain't getting it back.
Really?
Yeah. It is what it is. I mean, to be honest with you, it happened when I was younger. I was 21 when the injury happened. And I didn't have a calf, and I was a trash man for a long time, and I always thought that my right calf was huge and my left calf was small. And I thought it was just from driving the truck and having to step out with my right foot on the right side of the truck, driving standing up to service trash cans. Until I finally got the money to get some imaging done, and that's when they found out that the calf is cut off, and that's why I don't have a calf on my left side. Um, I just, when I was younger, I'm kind of dumb, and I just punched through everything. I didn't really think of my body and how it felt. I was like, I got to get this done, and I went to work.
So does that
But
keep you from being able to define your calf muscles when you're working out?
yeah, I can't stand on my toes.
So you can't develop them at all?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a calf muscle.
Really?
Now, when I jump, I don't have a calf on my left side. I can do calf raises with my right leg, but I can't stand on my toes on my left side because I don't have a calf muscle. So, it is what it is, though. It ain't stopping me. It's just a thing. Just a thing. It's part of living.
Yeah, as long as you can push through it, as long as you can push through it and keep the positivity and keep developing yourself and being able to work around it. That's kind of, it's all mentality at that point, knowing that you have that
Yeah.
and still being able to push through. You know what I mean?
One of the neurosurgeons I talked to, he did say that I had gone for a consult this summer to see about surgery to get the compression lifted. And he said that since I've been training the entire time and I still do calf raises, but I can't do them. So what I do is I grab a hold of a bar above me and then I lift myself up and still just do the movement.
Right.
And it keeps the brain pathway active. So he said there is a possibility if the compression's lifted that the nerves that control the surrounding areas might branch out and pick up that calf muscle.
Okay.
Since I kept the pathway from the brain to the spine good, we'll just see.
And
You know, and I'm not nearly on even just this little surface and even
Yeah.
you must adjust. Like, I want to fight. They want to hear what you're talk about it, take anything out, replace it. Healthy, and I know I can do this, and damn what you say, but you've been through a lot, and so your mind, as Nick said, your mindset, you got to keep that strong, man. You just have to adjust to those things, and that's something that certainly is going to be an adjustment for, even though it's small in the grand scheme of things, talking about what you're going through. But yeah, it's something.
so
The
so
mind is
so that's a good thing to bring up as a follow-up question. Do you think that as a male, and how much pride we have for ourselves, do you think that affects our recovery when we go through something like that, surgeries and stuff like that? Because we as men don't know how to stop. You know what I mean? We don't want to listen. We want to
Yeah.
continue with our lives and do whatever we want. I mean, that's just, it's how we were bred. I mean, plain and simple. So do you think that affects how, I mean, everybody's different, obviously, but I think if you have a good mentality, you're going to recover fast. But if you're stubborn, like most guys are, you're going to prolong that recovery and possibly do more damage than you did before.
So the way I think about it now is, when I was younger and I had my first surgery, I shattered my right wrist from a mountain biking accident, and I got pretty depressed during that recovery. And but since then, I've changed my mind, and now when I look at that, if I have to have an injury I have to recovery from, hey, that now I can design a new workout plan, right? I can design a new modality to help me fix uh, the issue that I have, and then I can develop that to a program and sell it.
Yeah.
No,
I get that.
I think mindset is absolutely critical in all things. And so I'll just tell you just briefly the short journey that I'm on with the doctors. And so rarely have I been to the doctor. So I just started this process of going to get checked out. Wife was saying people want me to get a baseline to see where I'm at, and this, that, and the other. And so when I say my age, which is 56, to them, it's like I am decrepit. And it is something.
No, man, he's still young.
Yeah, I know, but and I am. 56 is just a number. I live my life to the fullest. And to me, I am 25 and I'm full of life, and I get it every single day. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'll give anybody a run for their money. But when I see these physicians and these medical doctors, it's like, well, everything came back good. However, it's their mindset that they try to display upon me, and it's like it's a barrier, but it is something to hear them talk and to try to. I know they have the data and this and that and the other, but there's also the mindset that it is important. You don't have to display. Okay, that's what your data says, but what about a little bit of positivity in your wording coming across there? Why does it have to be when you're 56 and you might want to sit down and watch the TV? No.
Or people would rather read the same book.
I mean, you're right, man. That's
right.
That's a lot of people's perspective too, and that's really. I mean, you're right, brother.
And so people that have gone to the doctor and then found out that they have cancer this whole time, and then they know that, and it changes how that word changes everything, and then they end up dying in 1 or 2 years. Listen, I'm not making light of cancer; it's a very serious thing, but I believe mindset plays a huge role in everything how you go forward in your life.
You're gonna get me on conspiracy theories. We're gonna change this pharmaceutical conversation. Listen, I am.
But everybody has the perspective people have is when you hit 40, for some reason that's old, and that's the time you doing stuff. And I mean, the only reason why you're 55 or you're 60 and you can't run, jump, and play is because at some point you stop running, you stop jumping, and you stop playing. But if you do that every day, if you jump every single day, that's going to tell your body that you want to maintain, it helps you maintain being explosive. But you got to do it. You got to actually go out there and do it. You got to jump.
It's hard at 25. You may have a little bit more energy, but it's hard at 30. It's hard at 45. It's hard at 60. You just got to do it.
Yep.
You just got to do it.
And I've seen a 80-year-old grandma started lifting weights, and she was skinny, didn't have any muscle, and she was close to 80 years old. And she's in her 80s now, doing pull-ups, doing the whole the side thing. Right. You hold like this and go out over here, and she's 80 years old, man. Nah. And she has muscle, and now she's lifting weights, she's squatting, and so it doesn't matter what age you are. You can start training at any time.
Absolutely.
It's just if you start when you're older, it is going to be harder.
Absolutely. But you can do it. You can do
it.
Yes.
You can be strong in elder age.
That's right. Hey, the body is amazing, man. It's amazing. You attach that mindset to that, you'd be amazed at what you can do.
But you know what? When you brought up conspiracy, what I was about to say is, I think there is something to that. When people get in their 40s, it's the culture of, oh, I'm old now. Mm-hmm. And so you kind of stop doing stuff. But really, when you get to 40, that's when you're kind of in the middle ground of life. Now you got some experience. You got some knowledge. You got some wisdom. And that's when you can actually start changing the world, and you have a different perspective on life. And I think they kind of want people to not have that fire at that age. And so change never really happens.
Yeah,
and young people party.
I agree with that 100%. But I'm a firm believer. The moment that you turn 40, 45, and you go to the doctor, they start pushing these pills on you to make you feel better, and they say, okay, we've got all these years of research that backs it up, but every person's unique. And then you brought up the cancer thing. Listen, we'll just get into it. At this point, so how much do we donate for cancer research every year? You know how much money is roughly?
Billions of dollars.
It is right at, I just looked this up, it's right around $1.3 billion every year we put into that research foundation. Now, think about it. $1.3 billion over the last, let's just say 5 years. We'll just give that a rough estimate. And we found zero cure for it. Now, COVID hits, right? COVID hits, horrible time for the world, and you're telling me in 5 months they found a cure and a vaccine for it, and it dumped hardly any money into it. Come on. You're telling me there ain't. You know how much money is in cancer? You know how much money they make off that
A
stuff?
lot.
Exactly.
A
Yeah.
lot.
All right. What's the next question, RP? What do we got here? You're gonna get me all off on a tangent here. Right.
Here's woke. With
Listen.
this woke question, and I'm starting to like this woke question. I feel you, brother. I was gonna do that. I like this woke question, and so I think that's a thing I'm starting to like. But no, we'll change the rest of that. With that being said, so the woke question is: if you were president of the United States for one term and had the power to make 5 major changes, what would they be and why? If you were president of the United States for one term and had the power to change 5 major changes, what would they be and why?
Man, 5, that's a lot of changes.
That's a
That's
lot of
5. So
changes. That is a lot of changes.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
kick
kick
that
that
off
off.
for her.
I'll kick that off.
Kick
So,
it.
just my opinion. I believe that the president should have to have some military experience to be president of the United States. And I say that because you are sending people into combat when that decision is made. And it's a whole different scenario, to have somebody who's unfamiliar with that to send people in there. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I think to have that type of knowledge would make you think, because there is the mindset of once you've been there, especially if you go into combat, going in is not hard. Charging in there is not always your first answer. It's like, let's find another way, because loss of life is
Yeah.
going to happen. And I agree with that. I also think to jump to coincide with that, I know the president has war powers. However, I think that those decisions, as far as combat goes, to me, every every top official from every branch of the military, along with the president, should all make that decision together, not just one person. I know you commander in chief. I get that. But when you talk along the lines of what that truly means for the country and for everybody, I think that should not just be solely on one person.
Man, I completely agree with you. But the thing is, we already have laws in place
Yes.
that the thing is that they're not enforced.
Yes.
I mean, the president doesn't have the power to declare an act of war. That has to be a vote from Congress.
Yeah.
And all of our past wars have never been voted in by Congress.
That's right.
So we're not even enforcing our own constitution.
And keep going with that. And so I think
what you got, man?
No, go ahead. Keep going.
say
Nick.
something, Nick.
I was just gonna say. I mean,
So I was gonna say,
when it comes to it, they have boots on the ground already before they even start
That's right.
the process of it. You don't
That's
think
right.
in Iraq we weren't in there
That's right.
4 months before we ever made a decision and made it public?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely not.
Sure.
You're right.
Sure. It's nasty business with the media, and I'll say so. I believe as far as the Supreme Court, those judges should not be picked by the president. I think there should be a panel of the peers, maybe with from each party, maybe Republican and Democrats, that they seem to be the major forces. Maybe 2 or 3 delegates from each one of those, and they get together with these other panels of judges, if you will, and they get to pick, and not just the president himself, because that opens up temptation. You get to pick people who you want, who you think will favor you. I think also too with the parties, if whichever party is in the presidency, there should not be a situation to where that party controls all 3 branches of government. That's just too much temptation. It doesn't matter. There should be, I know you have your checks and balances. However, I think that should never be the case. Again, that opens up too much temptation. You got 4 years to do whatever you want. So you're going to tell me that power, the thought of power is not going to enter your mind? We got 4 years and we control this thing. We control this thing. I think that should never happen. And never again. I don't think that should ever happen again. It's just too much. And you talk about the Constitution. I think, in my opinion, that was written many moons ago. It is outdated to some degree, and it needs to be updated to fit the perspectives that in the world that we live in now.
Brother, I actually don't think the original Constitution needs to be amended. I think it actually needs to be enforced.
Well, that too.
I mean, because even before, let's go back before the Civil War when we had actual slavery in our country. The way the Constitution is written is that every man that's a citizen is free and has equal opportunity. And so the dark-skinned man was a slave before the Civil War, and that right then and there goes against the Constitution.
Yes.
So we haven't been implementing our actual Constitution since the beginning of our country.
Well, that too, and so let me add to that. So that Constitution was only written for one particular type of individual. That was the European male. That was not written for everybody. That was not their mindset when they wrote that Constitution. It says those words, but you're right, it was not enforced. But however, that was not written for everybody.
One thing I do not think it should be amended is our Bill of Rights. I think that should be set in stone. I mean, that is our rights. No other country in the world empire ever has had what we have with our Bill of Rights. And our Bill of Rights are very important.
And I'll say this too, and I'll be done with that question. So I think that's what you're talking about. Laws of equality and humanity that are in there should not be touched. Should not be touched. They're there for a reason,
No.
And those should not be touched. But those are my answers on that. What you gentlemen got?
Yeah, that's a tough question to ask. I mean, I agree with you. I definitely agree that the commander-in-chief should have military experience. If you're going to be in control of the military and have the ability to order people to kill another person, you should have the experience in that department.
Absolutely.
Because like you said, you're going to, now that you've been there, you've had to do that, you're going to second guess that order to kill someone.
Yeah.
You're going to think, is that really necessary? Or is there another path? What do you got, Nick?
I agree. I don't know if I come up with 5. There is a couple that I would change, just to help the people we have in our country right now. And number 1 is healthcare. I mean, you always see a healthcare problem, right? People struggle. Healthcare is out the roof, and the healthcare debt in the United States is astronomically high. But if you look at like overseas and like the Netherlands and all these other ones that have free healthcare, that they don't, it's all paid from by the state, or the country. That would help out so many people. And I think our medical field would be more advanced if we offered that, instead of thinking of a cash cow, just like it is. They want something. You pay a certain amount a month for healthcare, but then you're also paying for your medications. You're paying for the doctor visits. You're paying for any procedures you got to do. And then you look at these other countries that you don't have to do that. It is just provided. It is provided to the people from the government. And that's one thing I think I would change, because I'm way against healthcare. We started earlier. I hate healthcare, but I think offering free healthcare, I don't think people would abuse it as much. And then our medical sophistication would grow pretty quickly with that. And that's one of them.
So I mean, I'm with you, and I understand where you're coming from. And if that could work and the system could actually help people, that would be an awesome thing if we could provide that to the people. But the problem with that is when we give the government that kind of responsibility, they're never going to come through for us. And if we go to a healthcare for the entire country under the government, it's going to reduce healthcare. For one, is going to go down. The kind of healthcare is going to degrade. The biggest problem we have in our country with healthcare is insurance companies, and then the amount of drugs that pharma pushes. So one thing I would like to see in the country is I would like to see pharmaceutical commercials be illegal. I don't think we should be able to advertise drugs on the TV. There's I mean, I think not like 99% of the countries, I think there's only 2 or 3 countries in the world that actually allow pharmaceutical companies to advertise and have commercials. And that's one thing I would change, is taking away the ability for commercials when it comes to drugs. And I don't got 5 things. My second one would be to completely remove welfare. And I know a lot of people would be against that. Be like,
You're
blah,
taking
blah,
my
blah.
stuff now here.
But
You're killing me.
welfare, in my opinion, that's what's causing part of the health problems. That's also causing part of the problems with our people not being powerful and having wealth. Because people are now on the tip, as you could say, of the government. Right? They are the government's dependent now. And they're never going to better themselves because they know that they're getting that money that comes in. They're getting those food stamps. Their housing is going to get taken care of. Some people get their gas and propane paid for, right? These are all things that us hardworking people are paying for. And yes, there are going to be people that need charity and need help. Before welfare system, the people in this country, if we take welfare away from the government, real charities ran by real people in real communities will pop up again. And the people that actually need help are still going to get the help because people are good. There are good people in the world. There's just less good charities now because it's been outsourced to our government. And that makes us weaker as a country.
And I agree with you 100%. Being so dependent on welfare, I do believe it has divided communities because of it. A community
Yes.
would step up. If there was someone in your community that needed help, they were there. And now you got people that are on welfare that don't want help from their community. They don't want no one to step in and help them because they're going to lose that benefit. And they've became so codependent on it that it's just abolished all community ties, in my opinion.
The healthcare system. Shout out to Dr. Reddy. Serious exam. I listen to that show quite a bit, man. What? And so, man, when they talk about Medicare and Medicaid, you want to talk about a complex, insane system of trying to figure. Like, I don't even listen. Like, are you serious? It is ridiculous. Like all the parts, and you got to do this for this substance. I mean, it is insane. Like, how would you expect somebody of age, elderly, if you are 70 and 80, you're trying to figure out Medicare and Medicaid? It is ridiculous, man. The steps and the procedures you have to do to qualify for that is ridiculous. Just ridiculous.
And there's so much fraud involved with that too. Yeah. There's people that have it that shouldn't have it. And there's people that need it that can't get it.
Right. It is insane. Insane.
So another good point on since we're talking about the healthcare and stuff like that is the other one was going to be education. I mean, think about how much it is to send someone to school. Great Britain, for one, they don't charge for college. How much would this country flourish being able to send these people that are coming from a lower income community to college? I mean, you can apply for grants and stuff like that, but where are the grants coming from? I mean, honestly, where are they coming from? They're still coming from either the government or they're coming from us from some fashion. There might be 1,000 different avenues to get to them, but we are still paying for it. But why not offer free education? Our country's GDP in the last 10 years is just absolutely tanked. Because there's less people going to college.
So there's no money to be made with free education.
Correct. And I agree.
Because right now, it's one of the reasons why our college is so expensive is because of these guaranteed loans our government gives these kids. When you're 18-year-old, you can apply for this college loan, get $150,000, $200,000 loan to pay for school. I mean, you're not making that money. And then you graduate when you're 22 and you're in debt $200,000. And there's no jobs available, and you're not getting paid enough. But the colleges have raised their money. 50 years ago, you used to be able to work a summer job, and then the money you made at your summer job was able to pay for your college for the next year, right? We can't do that anymore. And The reason why these colleges has increased the price for tuition is because they know that the government's going to guarantee that loan for that kid. And then the kid is dumb enough to get that loan. So boom, it's guaranteed money to the college. And sure, there's ties and people working for the government that makes that happen for those universities.
Right.
We really need to change the way we do education. Like we need to have schools that, there's so much wasted time with degrees. Like I have 120 credit hours, and I did switch my degree 3 different times. But I've taken 30 credit hours that meant nothing for the degree I was going for. I was a med student. I was taking all these courses that had nothing and would not help me at all for my medical degree to become a family doctor. But I had to take them. It's a waste of time. But it's just filler classes to make more money.
That's right. All right, Kings. All right, Kings. I want to acknowledge for those of you who are just joining us, welcome to a podcast of Brothers of Many Words. I'm the host, King RP. I'm joined here by King Christopher and King Nate. We'll switch the gears here a little bit here. Are you becoming who you said you'd be? At some point, you have to ask yourself, are you living intentionally or just reacting to life? Where are you now versus where you said you'd be? Where are you now versus where you said you'd be?
I mean,
Let me hear you, Nick. What do you got, man?
So I always knew I was going to be in law enforcement. You know, I knew it. I mean, I started my career in high school as a dispatcher, and I quickly at 18 became the assistant director of a dispatch center for one of the major counties around here, and I stayed there for several years doing that, and slowly transitioned to getting my law enforcement license, and it's what I wanted to do my whole entire life. Now, would I say now I believe I am where I should be? Absolutely not. I this job ain't for everyone. You get the generic answers of I want to help people. Okay. And that's what the most generic question you can. But I was dumb. I was young and dumb, and I wanted to change the world. And I wanted to change my community. And have I changed my community? Absolutely. I've been in the same department for almost 15 years. For day one of being out of the academy, that's where I started. But you get so discouraged over the years of how the judicial system has just failed, and it's not doing what it should be. There's people that deserve second chances, and then there's the people that know the right people that get 400 chances and never have repercussions because of it, because they know the right people. And I consider myself rod right now, retired on duty. I don't do a lot of stuff unless it's in reference to my canine. I love getting narcotics off the street. It's one of my favorite things to do, because narcotics is a huge problem in this country. But besides that, if it isn't having a conversation with, as I do as much as I can, like when I see older people walking in with their groceries, I'll stop and I'll get out in full uniform. I'll help them carry them in, because I can make that little bit of change. But am I glad to be able to do what I did in the last 15 years? Yeah. Do I regret going into it? There was a time that I absolutely hated waking up for work. You know what I mean? I hated and dreaded putting on that uniform, because I knew I wasn't going to change. I'm not changing what I thought I could change in this world. But I don't regret the last 15 years, but I do have a new path coming up, and that's where I'm going to go down. And that's where I think of it.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Where am I? Right now, I'm on the path that I chose. One of the- So grateful. I'll say that. I thought, in high school, I was pretty fast, and I was football, so I thought be in the NFL, whatnot, that big dream, playing in the NFL. However, that was, I went to college, and then the next thing you know, I'm in the Marine Corps at 19. And then at 19, straight into combat. So you want to talk about life changing right off the freaking bat. And so from that point on, not saying that I was just wandering aimlessly, but I'll say this, I was letting life take me the direction that it wanted to take me. I didn't have control of it, if you will. Like, I didn't have a purpose. I was living, but I didn't have a purpose of where I wanted to go. And so now there was times there was resentment in that, fast forward to now, I'm grateful for those moments, because they have shaped me to who I am today. The only thing, this is not a regret. I wish I had found my purpose many moons ago. Because no telling what I say that. However, if I did that, I would be here, right now with you gentlemen. So let me take that back. Things happen the way they're supposed to happen. You know what I'm saying? Let me just stop right there.
You're right, man.
Yeah.
No, 100%.
As much as we would love to change the past is what shapes us.
That's right.
And we learn from it.
That's right.
You're right, man. Can you repeat that question one more time for me?
It's where are you right now versus where you said you'd be?
So I'm definitely not where I said I was going to be. For when I said that 10 years ago, when I was younger, when I was in my early 20s. And when I was younger, in my early 20s, I had this concept of what I want to be. I want to have lots of money. I want to have these cars, all these things, right? That was the goal. And my goal has changed, and as time has gone by, I've been able to finally recognize who I am, and I am on the right path now. In my head back then, when I was younger, I wasn't on the right path, but at the same time, I was. I was going through a journey that I was learning. I needed to go through those things to put me where I'm at today, right? I'm glad, like my injuries that I have, I'm glad they happened. If I didn't have those injuries, I wouldn't be running the gym right now because that's what inspired me to run a gym. That's what inspired me to get into fitness. And now that I run a gym, the gym has inspired me to go beyond that. And my new purpose now is I want to help other people succeed. And I've been able to recognize that that's what I really enjoy. It's not about me being on top of the world. I want to be underneath it, lifting people. I want to create other leaders. I want to see other people become successful and spread joy, love, and faith throughout the entire world. And that's what I'm doing with Rely right now. Recognize, evaluate, leverage, and implement. That's what it's about.
The perspective that you took with your injuries, you could have taken the other route and been negative and this and that and the other, but you did. You took a different path, which has led you definitely to where you are now.
You're right, man, and I'm so happy it happened.
That's right.
Welcome in,
Go
Jordan.
ahead, Nick.
Sorry, I'm keeping up in your YouTube chat too. My normal stuff I do. Sorry, guys. Let me piggyback off that. The obstacles and the dreams that you saw before, the obstacles that got you to where you are now, did that ever deter or break you down to what you originated from trying to achieve?
Say that one more time.
Say that again.
So the question, are you where you were at, right? Are you where you thought you were going to be at? Now, the obstacles that you came across in them years of trying to accomplish what you wanted to be at or where you wanted to be at, did that ever discourage you, or has it positively got you to your new path to where you believe you are now?
So,
go ahead, man.
No, I was going to say, so, when I first got out of the Marine Corps, I was not happy with the Marine Corps and how all that went, going to combat at such a young age and, having that feeling to realize that, you are expendable. So my mindset was, absolutely not good. And I didn't see what benefit, I was young, but I still didn't see what benefit was it going to do me in my life? How's it going to help me? And I was wrong. So let me tell you something. Having that, it has conditioned me very strongly in my mindset, conditioned me into discipline, conditioned me into pushing always. And so I'm so grateful for that experience now. And I'll say this too, having a honorable discharge is something that's powerful in this country. That is highly favored, and people respect that a lot. So that obstacle right there was one at first I absolutely resented. I can say that because that's the way I felt. However, now looking back on it, and being sitting here and being alive, if you will, I cherish those moments.
Absolutely.
Yeah, brother.
So
To answer your question, Nick,
yeah,
definitely the obstacles in the past, when they came up on this journey, they've obviously I wasn't happy at the time when I was going through that, but I'm glad they happened because those obstacles caused me to change course and direction in my life and changed my end goal. And in the beginning with the fitness, at first I set out to prove myself. I want to be the strongest, the baddest, right? And I want to look the biggest and be intimidating. And I wanted people to look at me and be like, man, I'm afraid of that guy. And I'm glad that when those things happen, the journey I'm on, I finally was able to get over that, change courses, completely different direction now, and I'm happier for it.
good. And that was just a short. Now that you're saying this, so drama in the chat down there. I don't know if you guys can see it in the YouTube chat. She's a really good friend of mine. She works for, I don't know if I can say this on YouTube. You know what 988 is? The number 988.
Is that the suicide line?
Correct. Yeah. So I didn't know if I could say that. So she works for a very good friend of mine. So she is very versed when it comes to dealing with people and stuff like that. So she says our obstacles has always shaped us, but we will always continue to keep going and growing. I don't think there's a time that we will ever fully be able to say we have made it all the way, as we always continue to keep growing. Which is really
you're right. You're right, Drama. Life is a journey.
It really is.
And actually, now that I have that perspective, I look forward to the obstacles coming in the future.
Right. Right. I was going to say that before she commented. Like, now I'm ready. I'm ready for it. Like, let them pull up. Let's see what happens. Like,
let's go,
fight.
man.
We're going to fight. And we're going to push through it. Absolutely.
I mean, everyone is a lesson learned.
That's all we need. And whether it's a positive or negative lesson, I do believe it's a growth.
Sure.
What you got, RP?
Sorry, RP.
No, you're fine, brother. No. So, do you guys think people are really stuck, or are they just comfortable?
We brought this up last week.
In today's world.
Or the week before. It is 100% comfortable. I don't care how many times you ask that. It is comfortable. That's all it is. And it's hard for people to come out of that shell. When they get that safety of comfort, it's like your blankie as a kid. Okay? That was your safety. It is your comfortable. It is your safe haven. And I honestly believe you can drag yourself out of it. It's just how far are you willing to go outside that comfort zone. That's it.
I mean, what we're talking about exactly what the philosophy that I'm developing with Rely, that's what that is. That's what Rely is all about. Recognize, evaluate, leverage, and implement. You have to recognize truth, evaluate your path, you leverage your knowledge and wisdom and discipline, and implement change through action. And that's how you pull yourself out of your hole. But you have to recognize where you're at. You have to recognize the truth of yourself.
Let me ask you this. What does it take to actually become who you said you'd be? What does it take?
Faith, dedication, and discipline.
I knew exactly where Chris was going to go. I was trying to get mine in there before he was. I knew where he was going to go with it. I knew where he was going with it. It is sheer willpower. It is all dependent on you. And if you surround your people with you surround yourself with the right people, that is growth. Like,
that's right.
I've known Chris. How long have I known you now? For 7 weeks, somewhere in there. Like, actually know you.
3 months.
Has it been that long? Holy shit. Anyway,
I think we met about 3 months ago.
So, and then that's when Mac came into my life, and they've brought me into that. They've got me into a better headspace and feeling, I want to say normal, because there's no such thing as normalcy anymore, but I think 100% it's about the people you surround yourself with and your mentality.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, you're 100% right, brother. I mean, if you hang out with people that party, you're gonna party.
That's right.
Yep.
If you hang out with people that want to grow, you're gonna grow.
That's right. Your surroundings matter. Your surroundings matter. So discipline matters more than motivation. So let me say this little final word on that. If you don't choose your life, life will choose it for you. There's no doubt about that.
That is right.
There's no doubt
There's
about
no
that.
way around it. You're right.
That's absolutely.
Command your life.
That's right.
Exactly.
So again, for those who are just joining, go ahead, King. What you got?
Drama says self-awareness, my friends. Surround self around those that pick you up in your journey. That's what she said.
Mm-hmm. It matters. It matters.
Absolutely,
it does.
I do believe and it goes back to our discussion 2 weeks ago. Who you surround yourself with is how you're going to live your life.
Mm-hmm. There was this saying that goes, you look into your phone and into your text message, and the first five people who you have that you are most proud of, that's who you are. That's who you are.
100% agree. 100%.
Hey, my wife is number 1, and you guys are number 2.
That's right, bro.
Oh, 100%. 100%. It is you, Chris, Mackie, and the group. That's what I've got. The group messages. That's what I've got. That's all I've got.
That's right. All right. For those who are just joining us, welcome to the podcast of Brothers of Many Words. We're going to fire it off right here with 5 rapid fire questions. 30 seconds apiece, and we'll go one at a time. I'll pop them off. Chris, then Nick, and it's 30 seconds apiece, real quick. Ready? Here we go. What's your favorite comfort food? Christopher. King Chris.
Potatoes.
Sushi.
Potatoes and bacon.
Oh my God. Potatoes and bacon and sushi. I'll go with gumbo. I love me some gumbo.
Ooh, gumbo's good, man.
Hold up. You're you're bringing shit back. Hold up. Hold up. What
No, man. Rapid fire.
Listen.
Yeah, I still got fried potatoes and bacon, man. That's my jam.
Okay. Are you more of a morning person or a night person?
Night.
I'm both.
Night. I'm both too as well. So it's like for kids, it never stops until they sleep. So I'm all day. I'm all day long.
I mean, with a gun to my head and I had to pick one, it would be nighttime.
I'll go with that. Yeah, I understand that.
But I love getting up early. I like being up in the morning, those early hours, and getting after it. I just love it.
I think my
So
15 years,
I myself with that.
I think with my 15 years of working overnights, I have to say nights. I mean, I've just lived it for so long. You know what I mean? So I can't. I'm not a morning person. Do not call me at 6 a.m. because we will fight.
Okay. Which one movie can you watch over and over again?
Good, Chris.
I thought you were getting ready to talk. I mean, I can watch Rambo and Rocky over and over, man.
Rambo and Rocky. What about you? What about you, Nick?
End of watch.
End of watch? I will go with Lord of the Rings.
Oh, Lord of the Rings,
The
good.
trilogy? Yeah.
Oh my God. You lost all in that, man.
That's good. That's a good story, man. Man, just to go a little sideways on this, when I was a kid, I grew up in Apostolic Pentecostal Church, so there was no electronics, no TV, no movies. Now I'm in high school, everyone's talking about Lord of the Rings, so this is when Lord of the Rings was coming out when I was in school. And man, I wanted to watch it so bad. I wanted to watch it so bad, right? And all I could think of is just what other kids would talk about, and I'd be like, man, that sounds so cool, right? And so I think I was maybe 15 or 16, and you gotta understand, I grew up in the church deep, and I had this dream. This is how bad I wanted to watch it. I had this dream that I was in the church, in the gymnasium, and the church had decided to put up a big screen and play this movie, Lord of the Rings, at the church. And so my dream, I'm like in this gym and I'm watching it. I'm hoping my mom doesn't come through the doors and see me watching it, right? But we're at the church. Oh man, it was wild.
Which movie though, Robert?
Huh?
Which one, Robert? Top of the trilogy. Which one is your top? Quick, come on.
Oh man.
Come on.
It's man, come on, man, that's crazy because they all good, man.
don't,
It's like,
don't let me call you out like that, and you brain fart right now.
okay, let me go. This ain't fast. This ain't fast.
Two towers are mine.
The two towers is good. Look, I like the one with the war elephants in there. I can't remember which one that is.
Oh,
that's the last one.
That's the last one.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the last one. Yep.
Yeah,
Rise of the King, what
Rise
it's called.
of the King.
I like
Rise
that
of the King. Yep.
Hey, that wasn't fair, man. That wasn't fair. That wasn't. I'm like,
I'll be calling you
hey,
out.
okay.
Listen.
What's a simple thing that instantly puts you in a good mood? What's a simple thing that instantly puts you in a good mood?
When I get a hug from my wife and daughters.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
What you got, Nick?
God, I'm gonna sound pathetic as hell, but it's honestly getting to speak with Mackie. Honestly, we talk every day, and just seeing his name pop up, I know it's gonna be a positive, great conversation,
right.
or just checking on me, and yeah.
No, that's cool. That's real cool.
I need a life.
It's all right, brother. At least you got somebody.
You got one, man. You're living it right now.
Right.
That's true. That's true.
That's right. At least you got somebody that you know that you got in your hip pocket you can talk to. You got somebody.
You know, before we move on, Nick, like you saying you don't got a life, a lot of people think that.
Yeah.
No, for real, man. This is serious. I think a lot of people, you know, that in their head they think, man, my life's boring. I don't got a life. Well, if you find purpose and you start doing something, and Nick, you have a purpose. You are actively doing something.
Mm-hmm.
We forget that we're on a journey, and a journey is never going to end.
That's right.
It's never going to end, right?
Yeah,
we're living this life. You have purpose. Every time you breathe, that's purpose.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's a good way
I'll
to look at
piggyback
it.
off what what Chris said. You know, a hug from my babies, man. I really love that. Going play with that iron pile at the gym. That brings me back all the time. I love that. Okay, last one. Would you rather take a road trip, a cruise, or a flight somewhere new? Would you rather take a road trip, a cruise, or a flight somewhere new?
Are you talking about like a cruise ship?
Road trip.
Yes.
Okay.
I'd rather go road trip because you can do all kinds of things on a road trip. You can get on a boat, you can hike, whatever. You're on the road, man.
What you got, Nick?
Definitely road trip. Nothing better than having your best friend sit next to you, radio blaring, just
Absolutely.
driving.
Yeah.
With a big old fat dip into and a can of Mountain Dew.
I think we're all in agreement. I love road tripping. I love driving. There's nothing like roaming through the country. I mean, and what I mean by country is on the road itself and seeing the different landscapes, the different, like I've been through Kentucky and Tennessee. You know, all that all that stretch is just real beautiful, man. I went to Chicago. I love road tripping with my family. It's a beautiful thing. I enjoy it quite a bit. All right. Hey,
Real
Nick,
quick,
I need you to hit us with that spot. Go ahead.
Real quick, Drama says that I lie. I accomplished most. Don't, like I said, I've known her since high school. One of my really, really good friends, and she says road trip, definitely. So just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah, tenfold of that.
Looks like that's popular. Road trips.
That's right.
Yeah, road trips.
Hit us with that. Yeah. Hit us with that spotlight. The King Nick.
So tonight's podcast spotlight is John Brown, the man who forced America to confront slavery. John Brown, from 1800 to 1859, was one of the most controversial and consequential figures in American history. A deeply religious abolitionist, Brown believed that slavery was moral evil so profound that it could not be ended through speeches or politics alone. He concluded that direct action, including armed resistance, was necessary to destroy the institution of slavery. Brown first gained national attention during Bleeding Kansas, where pro-slavery and anti-slavery settlers have fought over whether Kansas would be a union as free or slave state. That slavery would not end peacefully. Brown and his followers used force against pro-slavery settlers, making them both admired and feared. In In 1859, Brown led the most famous act, the raid on the Federal Armory at Harper's Ferry. His goal was to seize weapons and spark a widespread uprising of enslaved people throughout the South. The plan failed, and Brown was captured by the U.S. Marines under the command of Robert E. Lee. After a highly publicized trial, Brown was convicted of treason against the Commonwealth of Virginia, murder, and inciting slave insurrection, and was executed on December 2nd, 1859. Brown's death transformed him into a powerful symbol. To many in the North, he became a martyr who sacrificed his life to end slavery. To many in the South, he represented a terrifying warning that abolitionists were willing to use violence. His raid intensified sectional tension and helped push the United States towards the American Civil War. So the podcast summary on Mr. Brown is: John Brown was a man who believed that slavery was not just political issues, but moral crisis demanding immediate action. Willing to risk everything, he launched an armed assault on Harper's Ferry in hopes of igniting a revolution against slavery. Though his mission failed, his courage and uncompromising conviction forced the nations to confront its deepest injustice. To some, John Brown was terroristic. To others, he was a prophet of freedom. Few individuals did more to hasten the end of slavery and change the course of American history. And that would be John Brown.
Right on.
Gentlemen, it was a beautiful podcast. Listen, for those who are watching, you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Riverside, DJ Podcast, and we'll be on TikTok here soon enough. If you can't see us, our beautiful faces on your screen, certainly when you ride down that road, pop us in on the radio, listen to these outstanding voices coming right at you. It's been beautiful, Kings. Anything else
Absolutely.
anybody want to add?
Yeah, King. What's our YouTube handle? Let's go ahead and get that out there.
YouTube is the Brothers of Many Words.
So just at Brothers of Many Words.
So that's a great point. It's like that at all channels. Brothers of Many Words. Yes. On all those platforms. Right on. Thank you for doing that. Yes. I never said
and that's going to be on all platforms:
Instagram,
Facebook, all that stuff is going to be.
Yes. LinkedIn as well. Well, LinkedIn as well too. So good.
Sweet.
All right, King.
And where can we find you at, Robert? Do you have any personal
on
files out there?
Yeah, let me get that together. I know on Instagram I'm at my personal handle on Instagram is Jingle Jangle 17.
Right on. Jingle Jangle. Nice.
17, baby.
Jingle Jangle. Gosh.
I think on YouTube it's God. Let me make sure before I put that out. Let me get all that together now.
I'm looking that up right now.
Right on.
Yeah, but thank you for doing that because we all need to do that. Put our handles out there.
So it's at Brothers of Many Words, and every word besides of is capitalized at the beginning. Yeah.
You know what?
Right on.
So I'll get something together so we can put that. We need to post that too, so everybody can see that. That's good. That's a great point. All right, King Chris, take us on out of this thing, brother.
All right, we're taking it home. And all of our listeners, always remember to have faith, trust in your own power, believe deeply in your purpose, build unshakable confidence through action. Our second pillar is dedication. Show up when no one's watching. Stand firm in your commitment to grow. Put in the reps mentally, physically, and daily. And our last pillar is discipline. Forge your character through consistency. Set your code and follow it without compromise. Control your impulses. Command your results.
Beautiful Kings.
Amen,
Peace.
brother. Amen, brother.
Peace. Love you.
Love you guys.